Alrighty everybody, and welcome back to Redneck Teenager. In today's video we have here a golf cart. Now, one good question, why did I buy this? Impulsive buy is what it is. And I don't know what year this thing is, I don't know what it is. It's a club cat or whatever you want to call that, club car. It's got 200cc Predator engine in here, and it does not run. We picked this thing up for about 400 bucks, which is pretty decent for this good of a condition of a golf cart. So in today's video, we're going to be seeing if we can get this thing running, which I think we can because it's a 200 Predator. These things are stupidly easy to get running, and they just don't die. You can lose all compression on these engines, and they'll just keep going. So anyway, let's get started with this. You have to put spark plug, carburetor, and gas tank, and then we'll get it running. So let's bring y'all up closer to this guy here. And here she is. No exhaust, which I noticed, which I'm kind of iffy about. I don't exactly like that, but I guess it's not too bad since it still turns over. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the oil here. So let's see how much oil she's got. And I don't know what this little lever does, but we will, I don't know, we'll do something with it so that's not in our way. But let's pull this. Let's see how much oil it has. It's up to level. Yep, it's right at the top, so she is good. Now, this thing does turn over. It has a couple of dig marks in it. It has pretty good compression if you seal up that guy, but that's something we'll do later. So first off, what we're going to start with is bend this guy out of the frickin' way, because that's just annoying. And that whole mechanism still works. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull the spark plug, make sure we still have spark. We're going to pull this carburetor, clean it real quick, and we'll get started with this thing. Hopefully it should fire up relatively easy. Most of these little engines do, because they just simply don't die. So let's get started with this thing and get it run. Alrighty everybody, so the first thing we're going to check for is spark. Now, I got a 13/16 socket on here and a ratchet, so let's go ahead and pop her off real quick. Oh, there we go. And it's good that it came loose that easy. If your spark plugs are tough all the way to the point where they finally lose thread, that's bad. I had to take the oil line off of this thing to get it to be able to take the spark plug out, because this little line here is in the way. But anyway, let's check and see if we have the spark. So I'm gonna turn it on. Now if I turn that off, so does this key make any difference? Kinda. Okay. So we do have spark here. Now what I like to do with these engines before I take the carburetor off is I give them a little whiff of starting fluid just to see if they will even fire off, because what I don't like to do is spend all that time then go to fire it up and it doesn't run. So we're going to spray a little bit of go-go juice down her throat, not a lot, but a little, and see if this thing is gonna go or not. So I will be putting the e-brake on for this because I do not want to be dealing with this thing taking off, because I have had that happen. And let me tell you, when you're chasing a vehicle that's basically ran away or on a runaway, if anybody knows what that means, it's not fun to go chasing after it. And most of the times when I've had to do it, that machine has never came back with no damage on it. It always has some sort of damage from hitting something. So anyway, that's it. That e-brake. I'm gonna take the air cleaner off so I actually get a good whiff of it down. And then we'll see if she'll fire. Then if she does, then we'll take the carburetor off and get her all cleaned up. Which, to the looks, we may not even have to clean this thing, to be honest with y'all. It looks pretty decent. So another thing is I'm gonna check the gas here, because I need a functioning gas tank in order to drive this thing around. It looks like it gelled up, but it is gassy and it doesn't smell too terrible. So on that note, let me get a can of starting fluid real quick. Fresh can of starting fluid off the shelf. And which way does the choke work? So that's open, that's closed. So let's give it a little, and then let's close it. Everything's on, so it should fire. Oh, she stinks. See if she'll fire now. Weird. I don't know, maybe she's just so gummed up that it needs some maybe it needs it cleaned out. I have seen that happen where machines won't fire unless you do have the carburetor cleaned. So let me pull this carb off, I'll clean her out, and I'll bring y'all back. next morning after the last clip you just watched. Now, long story short, I got that thing running, pulled the carb off, and the main jet was clogged because they use that ethanol fuel, and that ethanol will just plug up anything you run it in. So we got that cleaned up. The slider jet was also clogged. I cleaned that, and then I literally just started pulling on it. She fired up, so we took off, and she's a runner. So what we need to do today, though, however, is we need to hold on. Let me pull her out so we can actually see what we're doing today. So another few things we did is, this is the choke lever right here, and they issued this thing. It will not sit there and idle without the choke on. So what we had to do was we had to redo this cable so we could actually use the choke, as you can see that's moving right there. Got it running and stuff. I did put a shorty exhaust on, temporary unit. This was the one off of my little tote goat I had. So we're gonna take that off. We gotta bend it up a little bit because what I was doing yesterday was this belt would get stretched and then it would be sitting right on the exhaust. So we gotta take that off. We gotta straighten this bend out so it's straightened out. And then we gotta fix this pull cord because it has about that much play before it even tightens up. So we gotta mess with that. And then we're gonna flip this guy around because I think what happened was the old pull cord that was on here started digging through, so they put this on. But the issue we're having now is I'll pull this and I'll stick in there, and then we got the stick. See, so I'll pull like this, and if you pull like that, it'll get stuck. So I also just want to show y'all how little tools it took to get this thing running. It took those guys to get that cable freed up, and then the only things I used was this little bit, and half that I didn't even need. That was just kind of like a helper thing. So really, it doesn't take much to get these old machines running. So on that note, I'm gonna get that pull cord fixed. I'm get the what else do I need to get? Get that exhaust straightened out, and then idle it up because it will not idle. I'm assuming the idle's all the way down. Not exactly sure where the idle even is on this thing. Maybe right there. I don't even know. We're gonna do that, and then I'll bring y'all back. So see y'all in a minute. Alrighty, everybody. So I got the pull cord fixed, and then I proceeded to get the bent up the exhaust a little bit. You still won't idle unless you have choke on, but just like our go-kart in there, it's very cold-blooded, so that might just be the way the section is. I do know, however, this carburetor is not the one for it. Way wrong carburetor. And that's probably why it's not idling correct, but she scoots. I mean, she'll sit here and idle on choke, so I think that's a success for this little girl. So on that note, if you guys like this video, please hit subscribe, like, comment, do whatever y'all want to do. Give me some comments on what we should do with this thing.